Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge, huge favor. Make sure that you're hitting the subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you'll know when I go live.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
And so tonight, I want to talk to you about something that we have all experienced, but nobody really wants to talk about. And it's I'm not in love with my spouse anymore, right? And let me just give you some truth. I have been there, Gil has been there, and there are millions and millions of married people that have said those words. I don't think I'm in love with my spouse anymore. I don't think that I want to be married anymore. People don't want to talk about this, but truth be told, that 89% of marriages have experienced this and have said those words. 89%, right? And it is normal, right? And I know you're like, what? It is normal to have those feelings, but I want you to understand that they're just feelings, right? Our feelings come and go with mood swings, with situations, with stress, with day-to-day life, with death, with childbirth. All of these things come and go, and we are inundated with so many feelings every single day. So when you say, I am not in love with my spouse anymore, understand that it's just a feeling, okay? Because your feelings change during different situations. So if you're in a situation where your marriage is in a rough spot and you're not liking him and he's not liking you, you might feel that you're not in love with them anymore. Okay. And I'm going to go here that if you really ever really love someone, you never stop loving them, right? You never stop loving them. And it's just like God loves us. His love is unconditional for us, okay? So if you've ever really loved your spouse, you never stop loving them. Yes, can you end up in a divorce? And yes, can you move on? But the core person, if you really love them, you will never stop loving them, okay? So let's look at some signs that the love have left you at this moment, okay? There's no fun, right? All the fun is gone out of the marriage, and that might make you feel like you don't love them anymore, right? You know, you feel alone even when you guys are together, right? So that might make you feel that I don't love this person anymore, right? Number 3, they might get on your last nerve, right? You like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get away from them. Because everything they say, do, even if you guys are not in an argument, it just gets on your last nerve, right? Number 4, you often think about divorce. Like, I can't wait till I'm in a position where I can divorce my spouse. Number 5, you share no common interest anymore. It's like you guys are two passing ships just going through life. Everything you like, he dislikes. Everything he likes, you dislike. Everything he says, like I said, gets on your nerve. You guys have nothing in common, no common interest. The only reason that's keeping you guys together is a piece of paper. Okay. Number 6, you have no sex and no physical touch. It's just like we're roommates. We're just existing. And you know, what's the point, right? But there is a way to fix it. There is a way to fall in love with your spouse again. But you're going to have to stop focusing on the negative. You're going to have to put in some work. Just like it's going to take work if you decide that you're going to walk away from your marriage, right? It's going to take work to fix it. You just did not fall out of love with your spouse overnight. It was a process. It's just like you don't put on 10 pounds overnight. It is a process. So you have to give yourself the same amount of time that it took you to fall out of love with your spouse. It's going to take you the same time plus more to fall back into love with them. Because again, if you really ever love the core person, you never stop loving them. Just like God never stops loving us. Okay? So how do you fix it? The first thing is really to tap into and to learn their love language, their core love language, and start working and speaking to that. Oh, the love languages don't work, Doc. That's a bunch of mess that Dr. Chapman came up with. No, they really do work. They really do work. And I am a strong component. I sow for what I want. So if I want love, I sow love. If I want attention, I pay Gil attention. If I want great conversation, I start great conversations. If I want him to support me, I support him. If I want Gil to go shopping with me, I know he loves sports. So I have sat down and figured out how to watch sports and enjoy it. Not just doing it because I want it to be a give and take thing. So you're going to have to invest back into everything you have taken out of this marriage in order for you to fall back in love. Number 2, go back to the place, space, and things that made you fall in love with that person in the first place. The space, place, and things are the most important things if you get nothing out of this teaching. Where was that place that you fell in love? What was going on in your life to make you open up and say, I love this person? Go back there. And what was the things that made you love that person? And cultivate those things. For me, when I fell in love with Gil, he had a vision, not just for his life, but he had a vision in what type of wife he wanted. And we used to have fun, and we used to date each other, and we used to do things that I had never experienced and he didn't either. And we continue to do that 35 years later. So I understand if you feel like you don't love that person, because I've been there and he's been there. But we decided to go back to the place and the space and the things that made us fall in love with each other to begin with. Number 3, pick out the good qualities of your spouse. And I understand if it has been such chaos and such dysfunction and arguments and all of those kind of things, that you might have to step away from that and sit down with a pen and a paper and say, these are the qualities that I love about my spouse. So I'm going to focus on those good qualities. Nobody's perfect, including you. So focus in on the good qualities of your spouse and cultivate and hang on and love those things. Don't always go to the negative. And that's the easy space to stay in, because that person is not all bad, or you wouldn't have got with them in the first place. And number 4, understand the 80-20 rule. This is one of the most important things you can get out of this teaching as well. Understand the 80-20 rule. And what is the 80-20 rule? Nobody on this planet that's walking or talking is perfect. And sometimes we start focusing on the 20 that somebody else is saying, or you believe that they can provide for you, or they're looking, or they're seeking, or whatever, that 20%. And you forget that that person that you're already with, the person that you said that you were going to spend the rest of your life with, possesses that 80. You just need to cultivate it, meaningful conversation, and get back to loving and cultivating that. It's so important because the grass is not always greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it and you tend to it and you pull up the weeds. Okay? I love you guys to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.